According to an estimation, there are 106 deaths per minute in the entire world. By the end of this video, there will be 530 deaths. What makes you different? Everyone has to die one day, but death without trying, giving your best, and not chasing your dreams, you fail the whole purpose of your life. Believe in yourself. It is not what they think about you, it is what you think about yourself. Don't let others tell you what you can do. Don't let their limitation limit your vision. We spend too much time thinking what others think about us, which create insecurities within ourselves, not realizing we are building a bridge to our own failure by our own hands. Stop letting their thoughts manifest your vision. Understand your success comes from your passion, dedication, hard work you put into your work, not by someone's thought that you will succeed. Believe in yourself and all that you want to do in life until your last breath. Just believe. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacles in life. Stop telling yourself how big your problems are. Just for once, believe in yourself and have the courage to tell your problems how big you are. I swear to God, the day your perspective about yourself will change forever. Name one person who has never seen failure. Name one person who has never felt pain. Name one person who has never felt like quitting. You are no different. Understand, life is painful. Life is tough. Life will put you down. When you're down, don't just stay down and wait for someone to pick you up. Believe in yourself. Pick yourself up. Dust yourself and keep moving. Don't stop. It's your fight. Fight with pride and conquer what's yours. The difference between a person alive and dead is the ability to try. Keep trying till your soul is connected with your body. Don't live a dead life when you're alive. This is no motivation. This is the reality of life. No one supports you when you start. No one can stop you when you try. But everyone will clap for you when you win. Come out of your dreamland and face the reality of life. Believe in yourself and start working on your dreams. Even if you're the only person by your side, it's okay. Just do what you love. Love what you do. You see, any successful people, they are successful because they believed in their dream and never followed the footsteps of others. They created their own legacy. Life is no Game of Thrones. Stop chasing the throne. You are a legend. Create your legacy. Wake up, work hard, believe in yourself. Remember all the pain you've been through. Let the world love or hate you. Never let yourself deny you. Feel the beast waiting inside you. You in pain, but pain can't stop you. Let them know their words won't hurt you. Your fight is not with anyone. Your fight is to be a champion. Shout it loud. Tell the world you're here. Tell them all you don't have fear. Haters know the love won't shut you. Cause you are legend. No one can stop you. Cause you are legend. No one can stop you. Believe in yourself before you wish the world to believe in you. Close your eyes. Imagine all the pain you have been through life. Imagine all the struggles. Imagine all the heartbreaks, criticism, betrayal, people laughing at your dream, cornering you. Now imagine your dreams. Imagine everything you want to do in life. Open your eyes, walk up to a mirror, ask yourself, every inch of your pain, all the struggles you have been through life, was it because one day you will think about it and feel pity for yourself, cry, play victim and blame everyone else for your failure? Or was it because you wanted to chase your dream, achieve what you dream and prove every single person wrong who laughed at you and make them clap for you? Success is not final. failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. I will never say the road to success is easy, but it is not impossible. Believe is the key. I want you to repeat this every single day of your life. I am a warrior. When God created me, He gave me two things, pain and power. I know life isn't easy all the time. I know I will fail many times. To be a legend, I will be tested time and again, but that doesn't make me stop believing in me. No matter what day it is, no matter how tough it is, I will not stop dreaming. I will not stop believing. I will not stop working. The only thing that can stop me is death. Till that day, nothing can keep me down. Legends are born no different. I'm a champion, I'm a warrior. But the day I will claim my success, entire world will know me as a legend. They will call me a legend. This is one life, zero regrets. Humbled and blessed for the pain and pleasure. My God is bigger than my struggle. No one can stop me. Peace.